Hi besties, welcome back to my channel. We're doing a bit of a different video. I was just recording an Instagram story and I love my car videos, and I wanted to make a video that was a little bit just like chatty, conversational, but for my girls specifically that want to start lifting, that want to start eating, whether that be that you just want to start tracking calories or you just want to kind of start taking your fitness journey a little bit more seriously, because I know it can be really daunting. And I'm sorry if you can hear my car rumbling. It's too hot to sit here without the car on and the aircon on. It is a beautiful day. Like, let me just show you. You're absolutely joking. Yeah, I kind of just wanted to make this video for anybody that's wanting to get into it. I'm about to turn 25. I started lifting when I was 18, and I think it's one of those things that we get so comfortable doing, but I was kind of reminded of that the other day when I was on the stepper, and I saw a lot of young girls, probably like between 18 and 20, and they all had that like, you know, big bug-eyed, looking around, deer in headlights kind of vibe, which is very, very normal. I was that person as well, but I think I just want to give you my tips and tricks on what can make things a little bit easier. And so I was like, let's just do a little bestie video. So first things first, majority of the gyms that you will sign up to will give you some kind of like introductory session. It's like usually a free PT, or like they'll walk you around the gym. Now, majority of people, they don't take it up. I've worked in gyms before, so like I was the person that was like assigned to doing that. Majority of people don't take it up. That is one of the silliest things. That is your opportunity to ask questions about machines. Machines can be so daunting, especially if you're a woman, because a lot of the time they're actually made to fit men. So actually really leaning in and being like, okay, cool, I'm nervous to show up to this gym with this PT session, you know, getting my little awkward like tour around, but I highly recommend it, because even if you can just walk with the person that runs the gym or the PT or whatever around, and you kind of work out where everything is, that's going to be better than you walking in with zero idea of where anything is at all. So that's number one. Okay, the next thing is please get a plan. And I am not saying this because I sell plans. I say this because I started going to the gym at 16. I started lifting weights at 18 or 19. And the most progress, the most motivated, the most anything, okay, I ever was when I had a plan. It relieves so much mental stress and anxiety, because it's like you're just going in and you're ticking a box. By the way, I'm going to give you guys a cheeky YouTube 50% off discount code to my coaching, personalized meal plans and personalized workout guide. I'm going to put it in the description box below. Add the coupon YouTubeFam. Anyway, moving on. Having a plan just releases like all that mental load. You can just go in and do the thing, and you don't have to stress and worry, and you can just focus on doing that exercise, getting better at that exercise, lifting heavier at that exercise, getting more reps, making your form better, whatever it may be. Always go with a plan. I actually always recommend focus on, if you're really overwhelmed by like tracking, meal prepping and lifting, I always recommend just choose one. Start by following a fitness plan for like 4 to 8 weeks, right? And then add on your nutrition. I think where people go wrong, especially at the beginning, is they literally just fucking add like everything all in one go, and it's so stressful. Just need to lock my car because somebody parked very close to me. So that's the biggest thing that I can say. Now, what I would recommend if you are going to start tracking calories, the best thing that you can do, especially if you've never tracked them before, is just download any form of app, okay? MyFitnessPal is perfect. That's probably the best one. I know there's a new app going around where you can like take a photo of your food and it'll spit out the calories. I honestly would not trust that at all. I feel like it's totally not accurate. Anywho, so I would get MyFitnessPal. Don't do anything. Just start logging the things that you're currently eating. Not to shame yourself, not to have any sort of emotional attachment to it whatsoever. Literally just to get an idea of how much protein you're having, how many carbs you're having, how much fiber you're having, how much fat you're having, right? Because if you don't even have any sort of knowledge around macros or micronutrients or anything, you're probably not going to have an idea, and that's perfectly fine. That's actually okay that you don't know. So I would be really focusing on just like, okay, cool, with the food choices that I'm currently making, what's actually going on? Like, what am I putting in my body, right? And then you could start making adjustments from there. That's if you're going to start tracking. In my coaching platform, we use meal plans. So like we do everything for you, protein, carbs, fats, fiber, like we do everything for you. So you don't have to worry about that. But that's if you're going to start tracking and you want to do it on your own, that's highly what I would recommend. The next thing that I would say, I know a lot of people get a lot of gym anxiety, and that is okay. A little tip that I have with that is when you go into the gym, that was my ankle, did you hear that? When you go into the gym, go to the cardio section, get on a treadmill or a bike, walk for 10 to 15 minutes, ride for 10 to 15 minutes, and just look around. Get really, really comfortable looking at people, seeing people, right? And then just kind of being in the vibe of the gym, because it can be really overstimulating. Like there's loud music, there's weight plates and dumbbells being dropped, there's people everywhere, especially if you're going in peak hour, it can be really, really stressful. So actually off the back end of that too, if you're somebody that is like really, really anxious, I would just ask the gym, okay? Every gym is different. When you sign up, ask them, what is your most quiet times. Okay, bestie, if that is 4 a.m., maybe you need to go to the gym at 4 a.m. for a little while you get more confident. That gets to be perfectly fine, right? For some, like, you know, when I used to work for a gym in a city, in the middle of the day, like a lunch break, that was like the busiest time, right? Whereas in like coastal gyms or other gyms, like lunchtime is dead. So that's why you just need to go and ask like every single gym, okay, when is your quietest time? Ask, and then if you can and your work allows you to do that, go in then. But otherwise, do what I said. Get on the treadmill, get on the bike, and just have a look around, suss it out, see what's going on, okay? The other thing that I just need to remind you of is nobody gives a fuck about you. Like, literally no one. Everybody is there because they care about themselves and their own goals. Like, I need to say this with my whole heart because I look like the biggest bitch in the gym. Like, even my own boyfriend was like, you look so mean, because like I'm in my zone, I'm thinking, I'm like, right? And then someone comes and asks me a question. I'm like, oh, hey, how are you? Right? So even that girl that you think is a bitch, even that girl that you think is judging, I promise you she's not. And on the off chance, like the 0.0001% chance there is someone judging you, whatever, that's their own problem. Their own insecurity, their own issues, whatever. That's none of your motherfucking business, okay? So please just know nobody cares. And 9 times out of 10, everyone is actually so helpful. Like, you think about it, you're in an environment where majority of people are there to be a better version of themselves, to be stronger, to be fitter, to be healthier. That is an epic environment. And I think that the gym environment has got a bad rap over a period of time, especially with like steroids and all that shit, but like 9 times out of 10, the biggest, scariest dude in there is actually the most helpful. I promise you. And never ever be embarrassed. I will tell you guys a story. I once accidentally was doing a back squat when I had never ever done back squats properly. This is how like embarrassing. I was 18, okay? I had no fucking idea. I was like, oh, I can leg press like 100 kilos or whatever, so I'll be able to squat like 80 kilos. If you know, you know. What you can squat, what you can leg press, you cannot squat, okay? So I put like 80 kilos, but I fucked up, right? So it was a 20 kilo bar, I put a 20 kilo plate, and all the plates were the same color, and I was just looking at the size of it. So I put on accidentally a 15 on the other side, which, by the way, when I'd never squat with a barbell, probably is the dumbest thing I ever could have done in my life, first of all, with that type of weight. Second of all, 20 and 15 means that I was unstable. I get under the squat rack. It is peak hour. I wish that I should contact the gym and see if they can find the footage. It was so long ago now. I squat. I could not get back up. I didn't clip the plates on. I went like this. The plate started sliding off. I fucking got caught under the barbell. Thank God the people in that gym that day, either they didn't give a fuck about me or they were being nice, and like nobody other than like one PT was like, are you okay? And I actually was fine. It was more the shock where I was like, fuck. And literally no one gave a fuck. Like, I was expecting to turn around, people be laughing, someone from the gym was going to say something. No, there was people, headphones in, lat pull down, doing all the things. It was like the busiest fucking weights room ever. And literally one guy was like, you're good, mate. And I was like, yeah, like the most Aussie thing you've ever seen in your life. And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And I genuinely was, thank God, because I literally really could have hurt myself. Nobody cared. Like, if I can go through that, I promise you that you can get in a lat pull down and kind of work out how it works. It is never as daunting or as scary as you think. And one thing that I am so passionate about, I need to have a sip of my coffee. One thing that I'm so passionate about, guys, is getting girls lifting heavy and in the gym, especially if you're somebody that wants to have a toned body. Right? Like, if we're just going based off fucking aesthetics, if you're somebody that wants to be toned, I'm sorry, Pilates isn't how you get toned. The only way that you get toned is by lifting weights. Because being toned is just having a level of muscle mass and then a minimal amount of body fat on top so that you can see the muscle poke through. And so many girls are worried about getting bulky. I promise you, like, genuine question, ask yourself right now, do I look bulky right now? I do not think personally that I do. You can make up that decision for yourself. I'm about to turn 25, literally next week. I've been lifting weights for, how many years is that? 7 years. I'm still not bulky, right? And do you know how easy, like, let's say by some slim chance, you accidentally got bulky, which is literally impossible. All the gym bros would have worked it out by now. Do you know how easy muscle is to lose? Like, it's so easy. You literally just don't work out and like eat minimal protein for a while and be gone. Like, it's not that big of a deal. But if you're someone that's been like spinning your wheels, trying this, trying that, and you want to change your physique, weight training is the way to go. And I just think it builds so much confidence, right? The next thing that I want to say, especially if you're a beginner, is don't overcomplicate your food. The biggest thing that women do is they overcomplicate fucking everything. And I actually think that majority of the time social media is to blame. So my tips are, number one, do not cut out any food groups. Do not cut out any food groups. Unless you are intolerant, right? Do not cut them out. Social media will tell you can't have this because it's inflammatory. There is like besties. You can have bread, you can have carbs, you can have milk, you can have dairy, you can have gluten, you can have all the things, okay? As long as your body agrees with them and you're not fucking celiac, okay, or lactose intolerant like my sister is, and like literally one sip of milk and she's like, I'm unwell, right? You can have that. Don't overcomplicate it. And the biggest thing that I can say, so like I said to you, if you're gonna track and put it in, do that. But just make subtle changes just make subtle changes to what you're currently doing. Let's just say you're making a pasta dish with chicken and maybe you're using like a really heavy cream, heaps of cheese, stuff that maybe isn't going to be in alignment and taking up a lot of calories and a lot of energy. Something that I would just recommend is, okay, cool, how can I add some vegetables to this and some color? I'm always like, add color first. Fiber is so important. Fruits and vegetables, all your micronutrients. I never get sick. I could not tell you the last time I was sick. And that I wholeheartedly believe is down to the fact that I lift weights regularly, I'm super hydrated, I sleep well, and I eat so many fruits and vegetables, okay? They are the key. So adding that as much as possible, I'm so about what we can add to our food. So adding that to your food, then going, okay, maybe instead of a cream, I could swap for a light cream. Maybe instead of really heavy cheese, I'll swap for a light cheese. Stuff like that. You don't need to change everything all in one because I think that that's so overwhelming. You just need to make subtle changes to what you're currently doing right now. And also remembering not to compare yourself to online, because you are looking at people, even myself included, right? I do fitness and health for a living. I'm so privileged to do that. I feel so blessed to do that. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that I get to do what I love as a living. But you are not going to have the same amount of time as me, most likely, to go to the gym when I can go to the gym whenever the fuck I want to. Right? Because I am my own boss, so I can plan my day around when I go to the gym. That is not the same for you. So if you need to do a 30-minute workout instead of an hour workout, if you need to do all of your meal prep on a Sunday, if you need to budget, if you need to do whatever you need to do, I promise you that that is okay, and you can still be healthy and happy and make changes and reach your goals and build your dream body whilst doing that. Do not let social media convince you otherwise. I just realized, am I going to get a parking ticket? No, I don't think so. I just was checking that wasn't a Ranger. So off the back end of that, just don't overwhelm yourself. I feel like that's a really big thing. Don't overwhelm yourself. The other thing that people will always jump into as a beginner, which I think can sometimes be taken a little bit out of context, is supplements. If you're going to take any supplements, okay, protein powder, creatine, and pre-workout. That's all you need to take. Everything else is a fucking scam. Everything. Greens powder, eat more vegetables. Okay, I have seen so much on social media recently of people like everyone. Why has it come off my feed? Why do I feel like I've seen everyone sell it? But some sort of debloat drink. Debloat drinks don't work. I literally promise you, okay? So again, pre-workout is for your caffeine. You can have that through coffee if you want to. I personally just love pre-workout. Like the reason I love it, I like wake up in the morning, I scoop my pre-workout, I like vibe out in the car and in the kitchen and like have that. I just love that's part of my routine, right? But if you don't want to have pre-workout, you could have coffee, all right? There's caffeine in that. You could have an energy drink if that's your vibe. I'm not here to tell you what you can and can't have. Someone's going to be in the comments being like, oh my God, you promote unhealthy things. You do you, bestie. And if you don't want to have any caffeine, don't have anything at all, right? As pre-workout, you also can have food, which I highly recommend. Carbs, absolutely going to be your best bet. Okay, then protein powder is fantastic. A lot of people think it's really expensive, but if you break it down cost per serve, it's actually not expensive at all. And like, think about it, it's like 30 days worth of servings often, and it's like, think about that, like 30 days worth of servings of meat. It adds up over time, right? And then the creatine is fantastic. I actually had a call with my client today and we were talking about that. Just make sure you get creatine monohydrate if you're going to. But even again, like as I'm saying this, I'm like, just don't even need to worry about that. Like if you're gonna get it and you have any questions about those supplements, comment in the comments below. Otherwise, like, don't focus on that right now. Focus on learning movement patterns, focus on eating like protein and adding more vegetables in and all those sorts of things. That should be your main focus, and sleeping and all those sorts of things. Cause like that's the other thing. If you're adding caffeine in, but you're sleeping 3 hours a night, like what the fuck is the point of that? You know what I mean? Like you're better off sleeping more and stuff like that. So supplements are that, they supplement things. They are definitely not a necessity. You don't need them to be healthy. You can just desire them, like I personally desire them. Another thing that I think is like demonized, but I think is fantastic, is rewarding yourself. Now take this with a grain of salt, but like something that most people need is extrinsic motivation. Extrinsic motivation is just external to you, right? And intrinsic motivation is like that discipline. You're motivated by yourself. You're getting up, you're doing the thing. So something that I actually recommend for a lot of people is like, okay, once you've been in the gym for like, once you start, maybe buy yourself like a new pair of tights or a couple pairs of tights, a new sports bra. Make yourself feel good, because I'm such a big believer, especially as women, when you feel good, you're so much more likely just to show up more motivated. Like, you know, when you get fresh hair and you're like, I'm the fucking hottest bitch alive. You get a facial and you're like, who am I? I am basically Taylor Swift. I'm Ariana Grande. I am that bitch, right? It's like you feel so much better. So like a lot of people are like, oh, you don't need to buy new activewear. And like, yes, I agree. But at the same time, there's part of me, it's like, no, you don't need it. But I think it can really help. Something else that you can do, and what I used to set for clients is like, okay, once we reach a certain goal, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, whatever, and let's say you reach a weight loss goal, you reach a performance goal, whatever your goal you have, then buy yourself a new set or something like that, right? Go to a new gym, treat yourself to a massage, like, I don't know, something like that just allows you to feel that little bit of extra motivated. And that's going to bring me on to the next thing. Look, I know I never plan my videos and they're a bit wishy-washy, and I really hope that this all makes sense. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section. But motivation is something that a lot of people freak out about because it goes away. And the way that I like to explain it is exactly the same as when you start dating someone. Start dating someone, you're in the honeymoon phase. You're in the honeymoon phase with the gym. You love it. You're obsessed with it. It's so exciting. You're like doing this new program and you're loving it and you're motivated and yada, yada, yada. Then you get to a point where you're like, it's kind of boring. And it's the same if you've been in a long-term relationship before. It is exactly the same. In a long-term relationship, you get to a point where you're like, everything feels a bit boring. That's not a bad thing, right? We often make it bad. It's not a bad thing. That is just what happens over time. That is what happens, and that's okay. It doesn't mean that you're broken, doesn't mean anything's wrong. And the way that you build discipline is by pushing through that. I am someone that I love fitness. I love the gym. It is my life. Like one of my friends recently said to me, Chloe, you need a hobby. I was like, my hobby is making content in the gym. And yeah, even I'm not motivated. Literally to get myself to the gym this morning, guys, I don't even think, you know, to get myself to the gym this morning, I did everything. Pre-workout, vibing out in the car, did an Instagram, like all the stuff that gives me energy. Oh my God, I had to drag myself there. Then the minute I was there, second exercise in, I was like, let's fucking go. Pushed it, got new PBs. And there's a quote that's like, sometimes the heaviest weight that you'll ever lift in the gym is the front door. And I so agree with that. Sometimes it's just getting yourself there. So in terms of motivation, the small things that you can do to actually show up for yourself are so important. Basic stuff. Setting your phone alarm and then putting the phone across the room. Better yet, there's an ancient device that you can buy called an alarm clock. I know, mind-blowing. Don't put your phone next to your head. Makes your life so much easier, okay? Or at least put it over across the room, because then when the alarm goes off, you have to get out of bed, right? Despite what people think, I do not wake up like happy-go-lucky. Right? I wake up like, oh my God, fucking name my life. I can't do this. I don't want to get up. It's too early. It's dark outside. Right? I fight my demons to get up. I do. I got to get up, but then I get up and I sit up, and I'm so big on like, I do not snooze my alarm, because if I do, I'm going straight back to sleep. Oh my God, I can sleep through anything. And I try and get up immediately. Do not scroll. Get up, okay? Then the night before, okay? You've probably heard this a lot of times, but your morning routine often starts at nighttime. So it's something that I always do. Pre-mix my supplements or put my supplements out on the bench. Stuff like that the night before. So after I clean the kitchen and I've had my dinner, the supplements go out on the bench, okay? Then before I go to bed in my wardrobe, I pick my outfit for the next day, because I'm that person. I will have like a 40-minute wardrobe meltdown. I'm that bitch in the morning because I just don't like my gym outfit, right? It's important to me. I don't care when people are like, the gym's not a fashion show. To me, it is. And not for anybody else, but for me. And it always has been. When I was single, when I'm in a relationship, the gym is a fashion show for me. So small things like that, laying my workout gear out, having my meals done, whatever. Even something that I'll do when I cook dinner, I'll often prep breakfast and lunch for the next day. So that's even something that you can do. Like, so for instance, if I'm making like overnight oats or overnight wheat bix, I'll make that when I'm like cleaning the kitchen, because it's really, really simple, but it's done, right? I'm prepping myself up for success, right? And this is the thing. It's like, if we can prep ourselves up for success, everything is so much easier. Now, prepping yourself for success also means setting realistic goals. It means being really, really honest with yourself about what you can achieve in a certain period of time. People will always overestimate what they can achieve in 6 to 12 weeks and then underestimate what they can achieve in 6 to 12 months. Okay, so this is why I think it's really, really important to have a program to follow, to have someone to keep you accountable, whether it's a gym buddy, a partner, whatever, because there is going to be a point in your journey, right? I've been doing this for nearly 7 years, or maybe it is 7 years, I don't know. But like when you just don't want to do it and you're like, oh, this kind of sucks, I'm not motivated to it, and you will go through ebbs and flows, and that's fine. But if you have a plan and you have someone to keep you accountable, it makes it so much easier. Now, I personally am someone, and I have to be honest about this, that has always been really intrinsically motivated. So I don't need anyone to hold me accountable. If there's one thing that's been consistent in my entire life, it has been getting up and going to the gym, and my family fucking hated it. Like, I'm about to go on a 3-week family holiday. My family is gonna love me because my alarm's going off at 4 a.m. I'm going to the gym, right? I'm getting shit sorted and whatever. But I didn't get that way, okay, by constantly making excuses for myself. I got that way because I got up when I don't want to get up. I go to the gym when I don't want to get up, right? And yes, that comes from me, but even if you're not intrinsically motivated, find that why. Why are you doing this? What do you want to feel in the 6 to 12 months? Who do you want to be? What does your relationship with food want to look like? What do your relationship with your body want to look like? What do you want to achieve fitness wise? You know, you want to back squat 80 kilos, you want to run a marathon, you want to do whatever. Like, obviously when you're a beginner, yes, they seem like big goals, but I promise you that you can get there. And even I reflect on my journey and I'm like, imagine if I had set like a 12-month goal when I started lifting at like 18 or 19, like, fuck, my results would have been, I would have looked so much better. Just from an aesthetic purpose. My lifts, I would be so much more strong. I would be so much more conditioned. I would have so much more muscle, like all those sorts of things, because like I was learning all of this stuff as I was going. And that's why the camera turned off because it was too hot. Fingers crossed this works. But what I was saying was, I learned all of this the hard way. So that's why I want to relay all this information to you. The more I can teach you, the more that you can succeed faster in your journey. And that's what this is about. Like, I don't think that women should have to struggle in their journey because there's so much information, there's so much crap, and there's so much comparison. And like, you know, even the fact like the skinny trend has come back, so many trends are coming and going. And my main goal is just to help you become the most healthy, happy, and strong version of yourself. Yes, that looks different on everyone, and that gets to be perfect. That is so perfect. That's so fun. If I can be of assistance to your journey in any way, I really, really want to be. Like I said, I don't think that women should struggle, and I think that so many women do struggle, and it literally breaks my heart how many women struggle with their own self-worth, their bodies, their nutrition. How many women are in my DMs? Like, I'm talking like there's at least 10 women a day in my DMs talking about their fear around food, talking about their experience with their body, how long they've hated themselves for, how long they've struggled for, and it breaks my heart. Like, it literally breaks my heart because I know how powerful it feels to finally not have an emotional attachment to your body, to food, to, you know, like, and that's a hard place to get to. I'm not denying that. It's a hard place to get to. But I really want this channel to be a place that you can come to. Whilst, yes, I can give you the tips and tricks and like, you know, the calories and the training and like that shit. Yeah, like that's great. But I also want it to be a place emotionally that you can come to and feel inspired and know that you're not alone and know that you really, really can get to a place where you don't have to feel controlled by food all the time. You don't have to binge all the time. And like, oh my God, it was wild. I was at breakfast on the weekend, what's a Thursday today, and I had a message from a family member who said to me, hey, I have started your chocolate challenge, which I did inside Health Hyped, and that's a challenge. It's all about healing your relationship with food. And I dead set, when I tell you not, burst into tears at the breakfast table that my own boyfriend was like, what the fuck happened? Are you okay? Is everyone okay? But knowing that, you know, I think it like, yeah, knowing that I can do that for someone close to me just hits a little different. Like, obviously when I don't know someone in person online, I know it changes your life, but to really feel the impact of having that change and that effect on somebody in my personal life, and knowing for a fact, like, I think it just hit where I'm like, I get to do that for you guys and I want to do that for you guys, is like insane. So please just know that I know that's my thing, that's my work, that's what I want to be able to do for you guys. So if there's any questions that you have, anything that you want to see from me, please let me know. This is the stuff that I love to talk about. I could yap on it about it all day, every day. Training, nutrition, healing your relationship with food. So I just love you guys so much. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it really has helped, you know, your beginner journey, or maybe if, you know, you're intermediate, you're like 1 or 2 years in and you want that little bit more assistance. I love you so much. Thank you for my little coffee chat with me. I think I'm going to do these a little bit more. I am actually going to the Olivia Rodrigo concert. I'm taking my mum and my 2 sisters tomorrow, so I'll be in Sydney tomorrow over the weekend, and it's my birthday next week, so I might actually do a bit of a week in the life, like traveling, so you guys can actually see what I eat too, because training and nutrition over the next week is going to be very, very interesting, because my mum's taking me on a surprise. I don't even know what I'm doing, versus like it's my birthday, so I'm going to be treating myself. So love you, have the best day, and I'll chat to you soon. Bye, besties.